Hello, my little doodlebugs. Thanks for popping by again. Now you have on your screens, hopefully, this report from the Manitoulin Expositor. How do you pronounce that? I'm sorry, I'm not a native. Now, it's up in Canada, or down in Canada if you're further north. So they've got a story. It was put out on November the 8th, but it does apply to this weekend coming, the 11th and 12th of November 2017. So a place in Canada, Little Current. Sounds a lovely, lovely place. They've got a new Kingdom Hall and it's open to the public this weekend. There's your picture of it. It's in Wilson Street, and I whistled there, didn't I? Completed in just 10 weeks, it's telling us, thanks to a group of dedicated volunteers from across the country. And you will indeed find that Jehovah's Witnesses will give a lot of their time and energy and lots of their money, although they're not directly tithed. They do actually give a lot. So there it is standing. And they've got an open house, as I said, this weekend, so that the community can go along, and they're telling you about how the congregation members and other people came together to build it. And one of the members, Leanne Fawcett, reiterates that. She gave the paper tour of the new building, along with her husband and church elder, Dan Fawcett. I was surprised to see initially that she would have spoken to the media, because normally women aren't allowed to take on such strong roles, but I see her husband is there again. I'm going to have a swig of my tea here. What's this whistling away? I've turned into that beaver in Lady and the Tramp. There is a group of volunteers who travel throughout Canada building and renovating halls. Locally, people are asked about their skills and helped on site with everything from building to painting. Individuals of the congregation helped other ways too, such as providing meals and accommodations. It is wonderful to be able to look around the new hall and know that we built it together. I mean, that sounds really good, doesn't it? We were outgrowing our old building, and it was determined that it was time to replace it opposed to doing renovations, said Mr. Fawcett, church elder. It's interesting, he said he was outgrowing their old building, because that is a big reason for new kingdom halls to be built at the moment. We're hearing all the time that people are outgrowing the buildings, when in fact congregations are shrinking. And a lot of this is down to, I'm afraid, and this is borne out by fact, this isn't just someone renting on, that Watchtower are flipping real estate, really making money out of it. But let's carry on, because things will be revealed. So that sounds good, though, for them locally. They've outgrown the building. So the hall was torn down on the 5th of June. They started on the 8th. And they've had the first new meeting August the 20th. There's a picture of it with the new chairs. You see they've got a couple of rooms there. It's very weird having a window, because a lot of Kingdom Halls don't actually have windows. Mr. Fawcett says about they're very energy efficient, they've got all the latest mod cons, and it sounds it's going to be lovely and warm, and they'll be snug as a bug in there, which is all very good. Wheelchair accessible, very important. Ramp up to the stage in the main room. I'm glad they've seen to that. And with the Wi-Fi, people can listen at home as well. So no paid workers. So they've got a core group of 40 members with 7 elders who take on various roles such as accounting, education and speaking at meetings, and those will be the higher ups that do take on those roles. Women are not allowed to actually preach to the congregation. They can give little demonstrations of examples of how to go door to door and things like that, but they're not allowed to preach. But I'm just wondering, those 40 members, when they're talking the core members, you're talking then about baptized members. I don't know if they're including their children amongst that. I don't know if that includes the 7 elders, or you've got 7 elders added to that. So you've got a maximum of 47, which makes me wonder, how small was the original building? Was it really that small that they needed to expand it? Bear with me. It also says that it was paid for by the Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, when they say that, that will mean the rank and file, those people there on the spot. You're talking about only 40 to 50 people. Um, that's a lot of money to find between them, if you think about it. Building a whole new church, because it won't have come from the rank and file. What happens as well is that, and this is where Watchtower gains, they like kingdom halls to either rebuild themselves or upgrade, and they lend the money, and they lend at an interest rate. Well, they've kind of dodged around that issue now. They were lending at a high interest rate, and there's loads of videos out there about it. Look it up, and they had to dodge around it. But the hall is still left with the debt, and they do pay back handsomely. The burden, the monetary burden on a kingdom hall is very high. And once they have paid for it all, the local members don't actually own it. If that hall is sold, then the central Watchtower organisation keeps the funds. It is making billions at the moment. Look into their real estate. It is incredible. North America congregations are dwindling and dwindling, and they say because the spin that Watchtower puts on is that they're expanding. So they're combining halls. People are having to now travel a long way to their meetings, and the old halls are sold, and that all those monies go back to Watchtower. You see how it's in their favour? They've put in, going back to the article, all contributions made to the church are forwarded on to help build other halls. That is what the rank and file believe around the world, as well as provide relief work. Now, this relief work has been demonstrated as being very lacking. It's been easy to monitor in the recent disasters that have before. My phone decided to turn it off there, so excuse me if there's a jump in continuity. So the relief work, it's been very evident in the recent disasters to the southern states of North America that the Jehovah's Witnesses haven't been there. They've been appealing for people to send in for relief work. It's all just bunched in with all the other donations. There's been no proof of it, and the people on the ground have not seen it. In the past, Jehovah's Witnesses, volunteers have gone, help rebuild people's homes. Then Watchtower gets their insurance money off them, plus the homes haven't been renovated properly. Can you see? So volunteers have helped renovate in the past, and then Watchtower gets the insurance money. Keep following the money with this. But, I mean, obviously the local people are going to be very proud of this. They're saying they've got 2 main rooms, large meeting room, smaller meeting room, that can accommodate additional people, will be used as a multi-purpose room. Together, the rooms have a capacity of 85. So this smaller room, it can be used for a number of reasons. It's used for elder meetings, these judicial meetings, which are these sort of kangaroo tribunals, which are held in secret, in private, and decide people's lives. Very, very, very difficult regime. Be surprised what goes on in there. Some very good secret recordings out on YouTube about those. Also, if people are disfellowshipped, let's see, I have a little wonder if you hear some strange noises. The cat is itching to get out. Yes, hello. If you're disfellowshipped, which can be for a number of reasons, it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong at all. It can be because you've asked a question that they don't like. I'm sorry, it can be because you have been raped and they don't think you took due precautions or all sorts of things. Now, you then have to keep away. You're shunned by everyone. And you can attend meetings, but you have to sit separate and you're not allowed to speak to anyone. Okay, well, they're not allowed to speak to you. If you speak to them, then your reinstatement is going to roll on and on. I've known people up to 3 years have to sit at the back of the hall. Now, it may be as well, some of them have to sit in the little room, that little room on their own. So think about that. 2 rooms sounds nice, but not always. But they've got lots of facilities, monitors and phones. And now it's also interesting that, I'm sorry, my complete ignorance, they have this Anishinaabe Bimoan language group. I really am sorry about my ignorance, the pronunciation. So they're responsible for that language group. Kingdom Hall is always open to the public, they say. That is not particularly true. There is like an open invitation, as all places of worship should be. If, however, and there's many videos to prove this, if, however, you do answer, when it's open to people to answer questions, you answer and you say a couple of sentences that they don't like, you will have this phalanx of elders suddenly around you, and you will be escorted out, and the words they will say to you is, your invitation has been revoked, and then you do have to leave. They will call the police on you as well. This weekend, the congregation wants to encourage members of the community to come and see this new building and join in the celebration. Now, if you're one of that community, I want you to look in Canada, look up on Canada, Google that there is now a class action, a lawsuit being brought against the Jehovah's Witnesses religion, I'll put in quotes, for cover-up of child abuse problems. Yes, you look it up. It's $6.6 million, as far as I know. You look it up and go along and ask about it. Now, chances are that the regular members, they just will not know about it. They are actually, everything's hidden from them. It's kept hidden. They're told not to do research, not to look these things up, and that if they're told anything, it's lies. But you can look, if you know, or if you're a Jehovah's Witness looking at this, hey, you can look and you can see that this is facts. And the cover-ups, it's not just that children have been raped by Jehovah's Witnesses, some of them high-ranking, talking the elders and things, but it's the cover-ups that happen, and the children are then punished, and their families are punished if they make a fuss. So, hey, you look at that. Go along. No reason to doubt that they're very proud of this new building. But you can go along and you can ask. And be aware that because they don't report child abusers to the police, and they can just privately reprove them, and no one knows about this. This has historically been happening. They do send child abusers that they know are child abusers and child rapists round to people's doors. They do that. And you need to be aware. That does not mean at all that every Jehovah's Witness around your door is a child abuser. And certainly the rank and file will not know of these things. Okay, so we don't want any, vigilantism towards the rank and file, seriously. But this does happen. Honestly, this does happen. You Google it, you can see news reports where this is happening. Okay, so hey, I wish I could say some good news about this, but people, be aware. If you're in that area and you wish to go and have a look at the Kingdom Hall, bear all those things in mind and do ask them about it. See what reactions you get. Okay, sad stuff, isn't it? Sad things. Okay, well, best to everyone. Thanks for enduring this long. Bye for now.